Okay, how about drawing some ovals and some circles here inside Illustrator? Well, what I've done is I've removed all the objects from my document once again by hitting Control A or Command A here on the Mac and hitting Delete. And this time I'm going to head for my ellipse tool or my circle tool. I'm going to go over to the toolbox and click and hold on my rectangle tool, and of course I get my tool flyout, and there's my ellipse tool right there. Or I could have hit the L key on my keyboard. I'll grab him, and he's pretty much the same as the rectangle tool. So if I want to draw some ovals, I just click and drag out here. No big deal. Easy stuff. I have my smart guides turned off, so I don't have those green guidelines that were showing up before when we were looking at rectangles. So all I'm doing here is just clicking and dragging with my mouse. No big deal. How do I draw a perfect circle? The same way that I draw a perfect square. I'm just going to hold down the Shift key here and click and drag. That's all there is to it here. Very, very easy stuff. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all the objects that I have on the artboard here. Command A or Control A and delete. Do you remember how to draw rectangles from the center? We just did it a second ago. Hold down Option here on the Mac or Alt on the Windows side, and there's how you can create some ovals from the center, or throw in Shift and you can draw perfect circles from the center. That's all there is to it. And notice that little center dot that appears there. That's a great little guideline that'll help me create concentric circles, for example, something like this. Easy stuff. Okay, great. No problems. With the rectangle tool, I could single click on the artboard. I can do the same thing here with my oval tool. So I'll just single click here. I wind up inside this ellipse dialog box, and it's the same story as before. I can type in a width and a height for my object. Make sure both values are the same, and you'll get yourself a perfect circle, something like that. Or, of course, use different values to get an oval. No problem. And don't forget, of course, that I can combine units of measurement. 4 centimeters with 15 millimeters. And of course, that converts over to inches for me. That's my default unit of measurement for my document here. No problems. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my objects once again here. Command A on the Mac or Control A on the Windows side and delete. And I'm going to draw out yet another oval here. And I'll go back to the black arrow tool inside my toolbox. My object selects. You saw this when we were talking about rectangles. I can grab my corner handles here or the side handles and scale and manipulate my object here. Now, this is one way to manipulate your ovals and your rectangles and your other objects inside Illustrator. But let me show you something else. Way up on the control bar, way up at the top of the screen, I have a little transform button here. If I click on this guy, I get this little palette flyout here. There's actually a palette called the Transform palette, which is underneath the window menu, which is exactly the same as this little flyout here. Now, what can I do with this guy? Well, I could type in precise widths and heights after I've drawn my shape. So maybe I'll go with 5 and 4. And I can see my change down on my artboard. I could also adjust the angle or the rotation if I wanted to. Maybe something like this, and also the skew of my object if I wanted to, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to click down on the artboard to get out of that transform dialog box, and I'm just going to do a couple of undos here. Command Z on the Mac here, or Control Z on the Windows side, and I'm going to go back to the transform drop down here, because there's something else I want to show you here, something called X and Y. You might know about X and Y coordinates from some of your other programs. What this relates to is the position of the object on the artboard. So, let me show you how this is going to work. I'm going to set this guy's X value to 0, and his Y value also to 0. And I'll just hit enter here to lock it in. And you can see what happens. My object winds up way down in the bottom left-hand corner. As a matter of fact, the dead center of my object winds up down in the bottom left-hand corner. So the center of my object has aligned up with the bottom left corner of the artboard, if that makes sense. Now, I'm going to go back to this transform drop-down. I want to show you what's going on here. See this little target area right here? That's what determines the positioning for my object. So it's always going to be in relation to the bottom left-hand corner of my page, but I could do something like this. I could type in, for example, 1 inch and 3 inches, for example. And what that means is that my object's center is now 1 inch in from the left-hand side and 3 inches in from the bottom of my artboard. Or I could come back here and I could say, no, I don't want to use the center of my object as the reference point. I want to use the bottom left-hand corner of my object as the reference point. So now if I do something like this, 4 inches and 4 inches, And I'll lock that in. What that means is now the bottom left-hand corner of my oval in this case is now 4 inches in from the left-hand side and 4 inches in from the bottom of my artboard. I hope that makes sense. And you can use this little transform drop-down with any object that you create here inside Illustrator. Definitely try it out with your rectangles if you like, or any other objects that you're working on here inside Illustrator. So there's a look at the transform palette, and there's a look at drawing perfect circles as well as ovals here inside Illustrator.